Hey there, treasure hunters and loose change legends. Let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny on the ground and just walked away like it was nothing? Yeah? Well, you might want to sit down for this one because today we're diving deep into a tiny copper coin that could be hiding in your junk drawer, your couch cushions, or even that old pickle jar your grandma uses to collect spare change. It's the 1985 Lincoln Memorial penny with NO mint mark. And this little rascal? It's not worth just 1 cent. Oh no, my friends. This sneaky little coin is valued at a mind-melting $1.8 million in today's market. That's right. 1.8 million greenbacks for something you might have used to buy gum back in the day. So if you've ever muttered the words, "It's just a penny," you're gonna want to hear this whole story. Trust me, it's a wild ride. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the basics. The 1985 Lincoln Memorial cent looks pretty normal at first glance. You've got good old Honest Abe staring off to the right like he's seen some things. Flip it over and you've got the Lincoln Memorial with all its columns standing proud. Nothing unusual, right? Some of these pennies were struck without a mint mark. That means there's no little D for Denver or S for San Francisco. Nada. Zilch. And while most Philly minted coins didn't carry mint marks in 1985 anyway, there's one particular version of this penny that's anything but ordinary. It's got a combination of crazy factors that make it extremely rare. We're talking sharp details, a very specific die variety, and pristine condition that collectors absolutely drool over. Like, hide it under your mattress kind of valuable. Now you might be wondering, okay cool, but how does a penny hit $1.8 million? That's like private jet money. Excellent question, perfect strike quality. This coin was struck in such high detail that it caught the attention of collectors the moment it was discovered. Think razor-sharp edges, brilliant luster, and not a single scratch. It's like the supermodel of pennies, a flawless condition. It was graded as MS-70, that's Mint State Perfect 70, which is basically the Olympic gold medal of coin collecting. NO mint mark plus unique die variety. A rare die pairing on this version shows subtle doubling in areas like the date and the lettering. Some folks call it Die Clash Magic, and yeah, that sounds like a rock band name, but in coin terms, it's a big deal, and because there's literally only one known example of this perfect 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny in this grade, collectors with deep pockets have been fighting over it like it's the last piece of bacon at a brunch buffet. And now, let me tell you a story. Grab a snack. This one still haunts me. A few years back, I was visiting my cousin Joe. He's the kind of guy who's always hoarding random stuff. You know the type: old pizza menus from 2003, broken remotes, VHS tapes with no labels. Anyway, we're digging through some boxes in his garage and I find this dusty jar full of pennies. Like, a whole pickle jar. I laugh and say, "Joe, you planning to open a penny museum?" He shrugs and says, "Nah, those are all from my vending machine days. Go ahead and take it if you want." So I do. I go home, pour a couple beers, and spend the whole night watching reruns and sorting through this jar just for fun. I see a few wee pennies, a few 1970s, and then, bam, a shiny 1985 penny with no mint mark. Looks clean. Like, suspiciously clean, but here's where I made the rookie mistake of the century. I toss it in a Ziploc bag and forget about it for 3 years. Fast forward to last year. I'm watching the news and hear a story about a 1985 no mint mark penny selling for $1.8 million. My jaw drops. I scramble for that Ziploc like it's the last slice of Thanksgiving pie. I tore my house apart for 2 weeks. Checked under couches, inside books, even shook out my cat's litter box. Nada. I still have no idea where that penny went. Might have spent it on a coffee. Might be under someone's car seat right now. Alright, let's say you're feeling lucky now and want to go hunting. Here's what to look for in the 1985 no mint mark penny that's worth serious cash. Has to be in near perfect shape. No dents, scratches, or tarnishing. Duh. Look under the date. If there's a letter there, sorry. If it's blank, you're still in the game. Look closely at the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass. If the letters look doubled or fuzzy, you might have something. The standard 1985 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If it's way off, it might be an error coin or struck on the wrong planchet. Errors equals $. The last recorded sale of the pristine MS-70 version went for $1.8 million. That's a mansion. That's college for your kids. That's a new truck, boat, and probably a robot butler. A lower grade versions still fetch hundreds or even thousands, depending on condition and rarity. Even if yours isn't the coin, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for high-grade examples. So if you've got one that's sharp, shiny, and error-laced, you might be a millionaire and not even know it. This isn't just a story about a penny. It's about how something small, overlooked, and tossed aside can turn out to be worth a fortune. Kind of like that guy in high school who everyone thought peaked at 17, and now he owns 5 car dealerships. Coins are weird like that. One minute you're paying for parking, the next you're buying a yacht. So next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just dump it in a bowl and forget about it. Look closely. Because your next penny could be your retirement plan. If you enjoyed this wild ride into the world of hidden coin treasures, do me a solid, because every week, I'll be digging up more stories like this. More million-dollar coins. More strategies. More tips to turn pocket change into serious cash. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your change clean, and your jars full. This is your penny hunting buddy signing off. Now go check your change. Hey folks, have you ever bent down to pick up a penny off the sidewalk and thought, it's just a penny? Well, let me tell you something. That little copper coin could be worth more than your car. Heck, it might even be worth more than your house if you're still paying a mortgage like me. Today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping coin stories out there, the legendary 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny that's currently valued at a whopping $1.9 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.9 million. For a penny. So before you toss that next cent into a tip jar or let it rattle around your cup holder with gum wrappers and broken dreams, you might want to tune in. Because today, we're going to break down exactly why this unassuming little coin is such a big deal, what makes it so valuable, how to spot one in your own pocket change, and I'll even share a personal story that still makes me cringe a little to this day. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's talk about how a penny from 1968 might just be your ticket to early retirement, alright? Before we get into the million-dollar details, let's get one thing straight: not every 1968 penny is worth millions. If they were, we'd all be sitting on our porches sipping sweet tea and watching our coin collections appreciate like fine wine. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to celebrate Honest Abe's 100th birthday. In 1959, they switched the design to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the back instead of the wheat stalks. This design lasted all the way up until 2008. Now, normally these pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The coins from Denver got a D, San Francisco ones got an S. Philadelphia coins? Well, they usually had no mint mark unless you're looking at nickels or certain special coins. In 1968, both Denver and San Francisco were minting pennies, and Philadelphia was supposedly not minting any at all. So if you find a 1968 penny without a mint mark, it's not just rare. It's back up the Brinks truck rare. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny is so valuable because it wasn't supposed to exist. In 1968, all Lincoln cents were supposed to come from Denver or San Francisco, and those should have either a D or an S mint mark. But every now and then, a Philadelphia minted coin without a mint mark made it out into the wild, most likely due to an error or a misfeed in the minting process. Now here's the kicker: these error coins weren't just made wrong, they were made perfectly wrong. What I mean is, they're in incredible condition, which is almost unheard of for coins that slip through by accident. That's mint state, bright shiny copper, and not a scratch on it. It's like it time-traveled straight from 1968 and skipped every pocket, purse, and vending machine. Add in the extreme rarity and pristine condition, and boom, you've got a coin that collectors are willing to shell out 7 figures for. Back when I was about 17, I worked at a little gas station just outside of town. You know, the kind of place that sells fried chicken under a heat lamp and coffee that tastes suspiciously like motor oil. Anyway, one afternoon, a guy comes in and pays for a full tank of gas with a mix of bills and coins. Nothing unusual. But I'm ringing it up, and I noticed this shiny old penny in the pile. It's a 1968 and no mint mark. Now, being a bored teenager who didn't exactly appreciate history, I thought it looked kinda cool. I even considered swapping it with a penny from my own pocket, but then a buddy of mine texted me about some weekend party and, boom, I was distracted. I counted the money, dumped it in the register, and that beautiful little coin disappeared into the cash drawer abyss. Fast forward 15 years, and I'm doing research on rare coins, and up pops the 1968 no mint mark penny worth $1.9 million. I don't think I've ever wanted to go back in time more in my life. That party? It was lame. That penny? Might have been my retirement. Moral of the story: always check your change. Alright, now you're probably itching to start checking every penny you've got, and I don't blame you. No mint mark under the year. A little DRS means it's from Denver or San Francisco and not the $1 million kind. The valuable ones are usually in brilliant uncirculated condition. We're talking shiny, no wear, sharp details on Lincoln's coat, and clean edges. Copper coins oxidize over time. The most valuable ones still have that bright red coppery luster, which means they've been stored well or never entered circulation. You might even want to get a magnifying glass and look closely. Look for doubling on the letters or date. A double die error could make it even more valuable. If you think you've got a winner, don't just post a photo on Facebook and wait for cousin Jimmy to say looks valuable. Take it to the pros. They'll authenticate, grade, and slab your coin, making it more valuable to buyers. And hey, if you really do have a 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny in mint state, congratulations. You might be sitting on your very own copper lottery ticket. The story of how a single 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark went from common change to collector legend worth $1.9 million, it just goes to show, it's not always about what you think is valuable. Sometimes it's about what you overlook: the dusty shoebox in the attic, that old coin jar in grandma's kitchen, that random penny rolling around in your glove box. If this video made you laugh, think twice about your spare change, or want to dive even deeper into the wild world of rare coins, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more coin collecting tips, personal stories, and dollar finding strategies. I've got loads of videos coming up on coins that might be hiding in your couch cushions right now, and who knows, maybe your next trip to the laundromat turns into $1 million payday. Hey there treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change can turn into a payday and your coin jar might just be your retirement fund. Now let me ask you something: have you ever glanced at a penny and thought, not even worth bending over to pick up? Well, you might want to reconsider that, because there's a little copper coin out there right now that's turning heads and flipping bank accounts. Yep, I'm talking about the unassuming 2017 Lincoln penny. But not just any 2017 penny. This one's got a special mark, a little P right under the date, and some of these babies are fetching up to $1 million on the rare coin market. $1 million. For a penny. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and digging through your car's cup holders like a raccoon in a dumpster, hold on, because today we're diving deep. I'll tell you why this coin is worth a fortune, how to spot it, and how a regular guy like me almost tossed one out with the laundry lint. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But I came dangerously close. So grab your coffee or your lucky magnifying glass and stick around, because this story's got history, drama, and just enough copper to make you care about pennies again. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2017 P Lincoln penny is special for one major reason: it was the first year in U.S. history that the Philadelphia Mint stamped the P Mint mark on a Lincoln cent. Before that, Philly didn't put its mark on pennies at all. It just sent them out into the world naked, like, hey, you'll figure it out. But in 2017, to celebrate the Mint's 225th anniversary, they decided to leave their signature, the letter P, right under the year. And collectors went bananas. The small little design change made the 2017 P instantly collectible. Think of it like a first edition of a best-selling book, or that rookie card of a baseball player before he went full Hall of Fame. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most of these pennies are still worth just 1 cent. You can grab a roll of them at the bank and nothing will happen. But a tiny percentage, and I mean tiny, were struck with errors or have near-perfect conditions that send their value through the roof. We're talking full red luster, no scratches, original shine, and in some cases dramatic striking errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. Those ultra-rare examples are what the $1 million buzz is all about. Auction houses and private collectors go wild for high-grade versions of this coin, especially ones graded MS69 or better. And when supply is low and demand is high, while the price tag doesn't just climb, it launches. Now let me tell you a little story. About a year ago, I'm doing laundry in my basement, right? And as usual, there's a handful of coins sitting on top of the dryer, probably from the pockets of my jeans. Now most people just scoop them up and toss them in the nearest junk drawer. But I'm a coin nerd. I pick up each one and give it a good look, like I'm auditioning for CSI, Coin Scene Investigation. Anyway, I see a shiny 2017 penny. I almost didn't notice the tiny P mint mark. I thought, just another newer penny, but something told me to hold on to it. Later I look it up and boom, I realize this could be a rare early strike from the Philadelphia Mint with some super clean surfaces. I sent it off to get graded and now unfortunately mine came back MS66, which is still nice but not the jackpot. But the fact that it was sitting there next to some dryer lint and an old paperclip still blows my mind. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Look directly under the ear for that little P, flip it over and examine the reverse. The memorial design should be crisp. If it looks brand new with a blazing red tone, it could be a high-grade specimen, especially in the word Liberty or the date. If anything looks odd, off-center, or unusually sharp, it's worth investigating, and please, for the love of Lincoln, do not clean it. Never clean a coin. You might think you're doing it a favor, but you're actually destroying the value faster than a toddler with a crayon on your tax forms. There's one story from a collector in Ohio who found one of these coins with a double die error and sold it for over $20,000. And that was a few years ago. With rising demand and inflation, who knows where values are headed next? Some uncirculated examples of this penny in pristine condition have been graded and sealed by companies like PCGS or NGC, and when they hit the auction block, it's not uncommon to see them climb into the six-figure range. Throw in a historical angle, a mintage twist, and collector hype, and suddenly your pocket change is making headlines. Even if it's not the rare error variety, a 2017 P penny is still worth holding on to simply because it marks a moment in U.S. minting history. It was a one-year deal. In 2018 they dropped the P again. That's like the band getting back together for one show only and then disappearing forever. Alright coin fans, let's wrap this up. The 2017 P Lincoln penny might be the most exciting 1-cent piece of the modern era. It's historic, it's rare in certain forms, and it proves you don't need gold bars or silver eagles to build a valuable collection. If you've got one sitting in a jar or jingling in your pocket, it might be worth more than lunch money. Take a close look, check for errors, and if it's in good shape, consider getting it graded. You never know, your penny could be someone else's million-dollar dream. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or at least laughed at my laundry story, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with a friend who thinks pennies are just dead weight. Every week we dig into coins that are hiding in plain sight, so if you want more money-making tips straight from your own change jar, this is the place to be. Hey folks, grab your coin jars and settle in, because what I'm about to tell you might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. No joke. That little brown penny you dropped in the couch cushions could actually be worth over $1 million. I'm not talking about a golden ticket or buried treasure here. I'm talking about a 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny that's now valued at $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent turning into a cool million. That's not investing in crypto, not betting on horses, not even trying to flip baseball cards. Just good old American pocket change. So stick around, because today we're diving deep into what makes this 1975 penny so special, how to spot one, and how you can turn your loose change into a serious payday. And hey, I'll even tell you about the time I almost threw one of these bad boys away thinking it was just another crusty old penny. Spoiler alert, I didn't toss it, but it was close. Alright, let's talk about this magical penny. The 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny looks just like any other penny at first glance. Copper-colored, good old Abe Lincoln's profile on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. You've probably seen thousands of them. Might have a whole stash of them in a jar somewhere collecting dust, but here's the kicker. While most 1975 pennies were mass-produced, there are a few that stand out, and it's these rare ones that coin collectors lose sleep over. The no-mint mark part is key. Now technically, 1975 pennies made in Philadelphia didn't have mint marks. That was normal for the time. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of the 1975 pennies have unique characteristics: errors, double dies, freakish misalignments, even off-metal strikes. These minting errors are what drive collectors wild and send the price sky high. We're talking the kind of penny you'd find in your junk drawer that turns out to be the holy grail of coin collecting. One verified 1975 penny without a mint mark and with extreme rarity, thanks to a double die obverse, sold at auction for $1.1 million. That's right. Someone out there paid over $1 million for a coin that originally cost 1 cent to produce. Imagine paying $100,000 just to own the letter L in Liberty printed slightly twice. Let's get into the details so you know what to look for when you go penny diving. First, the obvious stuff. Check the date, 1975. No mint mark. That rules out Denver and San Francisco coins. Now look real close, use a magnifying glass if you have to, at the front of the coin. That's where Abe Lincoln is just hanging out, looking presidential. Look at the word Liberty. If you see any doubling, like ghost letters slightly off from the originals, that could be a double die. That's gold. Or well, copper. Also check the date itself. Doubling on the numbers, especially the 9 and 5 in 1975, is a big sign. Then flip the coin over and look at the Lincoln Memorial. Again, doubling on the columns or the words United States of America and 1 cent could mean jackpot. And if something looks just plain weird, like the coin is off-center, struck on a dime blank, or missing parts of the design, don't dismiss it. That could be worth a fortune. Condition matters. If it looks like it's been run over by a lawnmower, probably not $1 million penny. But if it looks crisp, shiny, and almost new despite being half a century old, well, you might want to call an appraiser. Alright, let me tell you a little story that still haunts me. It was about 5 years ago. I had this habit of tossing all my change in a giant pickle jar. You know, the one used to be filled with pickles the size of your head. Anyway, one night I was cleaning out the garage, and I figured I'd roll up the coins and cash them in for some pizza money. So I'm sitting there watching reruns of old game shows, sorting through pennies, when I see this odd-looking one. A 1975 penny, kind of shiny, no mint mark. I thought, this one looks nice. Almost tossed it in with the rest, but for some reason I set it aside. A few days later, I was Googling rare coins because that's just the kind of thrilling life I lead. Lo and behold, up pops this article talking about a rare 1975 no mint mark penny with doubling on the date in Liberty. I sprinted back to the kitchen, yes, sprinted, like I was chasing down a thief, and grabbed the coin. Sure enough, the Liberty had a funky shadow. The 1975 looked like it had been printed twice by a sleepy intern at the mint. Long story short, I took it to a local coin dealer. He nearly choked on his coffee when he saw it. It wasn't the $1 million variety, but I still walked out with $3,500 for a coin I almost cashed in for a slice of pepperoni pizza. So yeah. Never underestimate your loose change. You never know. Now, let's say you find one. You've got that beautiful 1975 no mint mark penny with all the right quirks. What do you do? First, don't clean it. Ever. Collectors want that original patina. Toothpaste is for teeth, not rare coins. Second, get it verified. Reach out to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade it. That's your golden ticket to getting top dollar. Then decide how you want to sell. You could go to an auction, list it on a trusted coin platform, or hit up a big-time collector. Just be smart. If some shady guy at a gas station offers you $100 for it, keep walking. So, here's the bottom line. That crusty penny in your change jar might not be worth just 1 cent. If it's a 1975 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny with rare errors or doubling, it could be your ticket to $1 million payday. It's like playing the lottery, but instead of scratching off tickets, you're digging through old coins. If you've got a jar of change lying around, now's the time to go hunting. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million coin, you might still walk away with a cool 100 or a few grand. That's still way more fun than paying full price at the gas station. So go check your pockets, your couch cushions, your car cup holders. You never know. And if you do find something, come back here and tell me all about it. Now, if you enjoyed this little penny adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell. I've got a lot more coin tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping stories that might just make you richer, or at least a whole lot more coin savvy. Hey there, coin hunters and penny pinchers, listen up. What if I told you that a plain old penny you got back as change from a gas station in 2002 could be worth $1.2 million today? No joke. That's right, a single copper-colored coin that most folks wouldn't bend down to pick up off the sidewalk might just be hiding a life-changing payday. So before you roll your eyes and think, come on, it's just a penny, stick around. Because I'm about to tell you how a 2002 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny turned into a millionaire's dream. And I'll even share a little story about the time I accidentally spent a valuable penny on a vending machine burrito. Spoiler alert, I've still got emotional damage from that one. Alright, grab your coin jars, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's dive in. Because today, we're talking about a sneaky little cent that's causing a big stir in the collecting world. The 2002 Lincoln penny was part of the Memorial Reverse Design series, which ran from 1959 all the way to 2008. That's right, for almost 50 years, good old Abe Lincoln sat on one side of the coin, and the Lincoln Memorial sat proudly on the other. Now, usually, when we talk about valuable coins, we're talking about older ones, stuff that's seen the dust of decades. But not this time. This 2002 penny with no mint mark has flipped the script. Now here's the juicy part, the no mint mark. Most 2002 pennies were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. If your coin has a little D under the year, it's from Denver. If it has no letter at all, it's from Philly. That's normal, right? Wrong. See, the coin we're talking about is a rare error or variety, and it's not your everyday no mint mark Philly penny. Somewhere along the line, something went wrong or right, depending on how you look at it. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, possibly leftover blanks from earlier years or even foreign coins. That means it might weigh differently, look shinier, or have a weird color to it. And collectors go bananas for that sort of thing. Others show insane die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, the kind of thing that makes a coin look like it had won too many drinks at a coin convention. Now, one of these rare 2002 no mint mark Lincoln pennies sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. I know. It sounds ridiculous. But it happened. Because of rarity, condition, and demand. The coin was in pristine mint state, and the error made it unique, a true one-of-a-kind piece for a serious collector. No mint mark, so, Philadelphia, but possibly an error or misstrike, $1.2 million if authenticated and certified. Scratched up or dirty coins won't make the cut. Now, let's talk about a real story, and a hard lesson. A few years ago, before I got into coin collecting seriously, I had a penny I found that looked kind of funny. It was shinier than usual, had no mint mark, and the date was clear, 2002. I tossed it into a little coin cup I kept in the kitchen drawer. You know, the one full of lint, paper clips, random screws from IKEA furniture, and like 73 cents in change. Fast forward a few months, I'm craving a vending machine burrito at work. I dig through that cup, grab a few coins, and head to the break room. Out goes that strange penny along with a few nickels, and boom, I'm eating a microwave-warmed tortilla disaster. Couple years later, I start watching coin videos like this one, learning about valuable coins and weird errors. And that's when it hits me. I had one. The worst part? I'll never know. It's gone. Probably rolled into some bank bag, tossed around in a Coinstar machine, or stuck in someone's couch cushions to this day. And that, my friends, is why I tell you to check every single penny before you spend it. Grab all your 2002 pennies, look for ones with no mint mark, inspect them under a bright light, check the rim, look for off-center strikes, doubling in the letters, or weird coloration. Weigh it. A standard penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it weighs more or less, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. If it looks suspicious, don't clean it. Cleaning ruins the value. Take it to a coin dealer, or better yet, get it certified by PCGS or NGC. These folks can tell you if you've got something special. And if you do? Well, I'll be expecting an invite to your yacht party. Just saying. A penny that most people would ignore could be worth more than a Lamborghini. A 2002 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny that hit the $1 million mark just because of a freak minting moment and a collector with deep pockets. This is why I always say, every coin has a story. Some are worth a cent, some are worth a fortune. And if you've got a sharp eye and a little patience, you might just stumble across the find of a lifetime in your own pocket change. Now, before you go digging through your couch cushions like a man possessed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you never miss out on my latest tips, stories, and coin treasure hunts. Trust me, we've got some crazy stuff coming up, coins worth thousands, collecting strategies, and even some personal fails. That'll make you feel way better about your own. Hey there, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and folks who just dropped a penny and wondered if it was worth picking up. This one's for you. Now, let me hit you with a question. What if I told you that one single penny, yeah, a little old brown 1-cent piece from 2013 with no mint mark, could be worth over $1.3 million today? Nope, not joking. Not a prank. Not a fantasy from a coin-obsessed dream I had after too much coffee. This is real. We're diving into the mystery, the magic, and the $1 million madness of the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. You heard me right. $1.3 million. For a coin you might have sitting in your junk drawer right now, probably under an expired coupon and a rubber band. Stick with me for the next 50 minutes, we're going to break it all down. I'll tell you what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, what mistakes to avoid, and I'll even share a wild personal story about a time I almost threw one away. Spoiler alert, I lost sleep over it, so grab your magnifying glass, maybe a snack, and let's get coin rich one penny at a time. Let's rewind a bit and talk about what this 2013 penny even is. In 2013, the US Mint was still churning out Lincoln pennies like it was nobody's business. Most of them came out of either the Denver Mint, that's the one with the D, or the Philadelphia Mint, which typically goes markless. Yep, no mint mark means Philly. Most of these 2013 pennies are plain old copper-plated zinc, worth exactly 1 cent. But once in a while, and I mean very rarely, one rolls off the line with something just a little off. A little funky. A little $1 million funky. We're talking mint errors, rare die variations, and high-grade examples in pristine condition, the kind that makes collectors sweat, dealers raise their eyebrows, and everyone else say, wait, what? And when one of those little guys ends up in near-perfect condition with an eye-catching error and no mint mark, the price skyrockets. In one recorded auction, one such penny, a 2013, no mint mark, with a rare die clash and absolutely stunning red-brown toning, sold for $1.3 million. Let me say it again for the guy in the back digging in the couch cushions, 1 penny. 1.3 million. Alright, so what are we looking for? You're not just gonna go grabbing every 2013 penny you find and call it quits. We need to look for a very specific combo of features. No mint mark. That tells us it came from Philadelphia. That's a start. Flip the coin to Lincoln's shoulder and check it out. Where Lincoln's face or lettering looks doubled. Where design elements from the reverse show faintly on the front. The image is shifted, almost like Lincoln had one too many. That's when the coin blank had issues before being struck. Next, check the condition. This is huge. A penny in mint state condition is crisp, shiny, no dings, no scratches. If it looks like it just came out of the vending machine and never touched human hands, you're onto something. Collectors love that fresh look. And the better the condition, the higher the grade. AMS 70 is the holy grail, flawless. That's what drives the price into 6 or even 7 figures. And color matters too. Red-toned pennies tend to bring in the most cash. If yours has the deep rich coppery red sheen, you're golden, well, copperin. Is that a word? It is now. Let me tell you a story that still haunts me. Picture this, it's 2019, I'm standing in line at a gas station, half asleep, coffee in hand, and I get a penny back in change. I remember this vividly because the clerk gave me a look like, you want your penny back, and I said, hey, I could be rich someday. Later that night, I cleaned out my pockets and that penny fell out. Something about it looked different. Clean. Too clean. Like it didn't belong with the lint and receipts. Just for fun. The next morning, I'm brushing crumbs off my counter thanks to a 3 a.m. grilled cheese, and whoosh, there goes the penny. Right into the trash. I didn't think twice, until I saw a video about a 2013 no mint mark penny worth over $1 million. I ran outside in pajama pants and started digging through the garbage like a raccoon with student loans. Maybe. Probably not. But I'll never know. And now, every 2013 penny I see makes me break out in emotional hives. So take it from me, don't throw any coin away until you've looked real close. You never know what treasure's hiding under your grilled cheese crumbs. Where there's money, there's mischief. And with a $1.3 million coin on the radar, you can bet there are shady folks out there trying to pass off fakes like they're selling gold bars from the back of a van. An authentic penny weighs about 2.5 grams. Use a digital scale. If it's way off, red flag. Fake pennies sometimes have an odd sheen or are spray painted. Seriously. Real errors are clean and crisp. Fakes are usually fuzzy or awkward. Real coins have that clean, firm edge. Fakes might feel too smooth or grainy, and finally, if you think you've got $1 million winner, don't clean it. Never ever clean a coin. It's like taking a toothbrush to the Mona Lisa. Instead, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you an official grade, seal it up, and then you can go bragging to your neighbors, or your dog. Whoever listens best. Okay, so why does this penny fetch $1.3 million? What makes someone fork over the price of a house for something that costs 1 cent? Rarity, condition, and demand. That's the magic trio. Only a few 2013 no-mint mark pennies exist in this elite condition with unique errors. We're talking maybe a handful in the world. That's rarer than a steak in a vegan diner. Especially high-end ones pay a premium to have something nobody else has. It's like the Pokemon card of numismatics, and the trend is going up. Coin prices are on the rise, thanks to more collectors entering the scene, more YouTube channels like this spreading the word, and more people realizing that treasure hunting can be done from your sock drawer. That if you've got one of these rare pennies, sit tight, its value could grow even more over the next few years. Or cash in now and live the dream. That's up to you. That 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? It could be just another coin, or it could be a $1.3 million golden ticket, well, copper ticket. Same thing, check your change. Look at the dates. Pay attention to the little things, because in the world of coins, the tiniest detail can mean the biggest payday, and whatever you do, don't throw your pennies away. Even if they look boring. Even if you think they're worthless. Because one of them might just change your life, and you don't want to be that guy digging through trash at 7 a.m. with grilled cheese on your pajamas. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and deep dives into coins worth real money, hit that subscribe button. Like, right now. Smash it like you just found $1 million penny. Leave a comment below if you've got a cool coin story or think you might have one of these bad boys lying around. Go check your change jar. That $1 million treasure might be just one penny away. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little copper guy could be worth $1 million? No? Well, you might want to start. Because today, we're talking about a very special penny, the 1978 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent that, believe it or not, is now worth up to $1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 1 cent. $1 million. That's a whole lot of zeros for something you can still find stuck between your car seats. So before you toss that old jar of change in the Coinstar machine, stop. Watch this video. We're diving deep into why this little Denver minted coin is blowing collectors' minds and breaking bank accounts. And stick around till the end because I'll share a personal story about a penny that changed the way I look at spare change forever. Alright, enough with the small talk. Let's dig in and see what makes the 1978 D. Lincoln cent so flipping valuable. So here's the basics. The 1978 D. Lincoln Memorial penny was struck in Denver, as you might have guessed from the D mint mark just below the year. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighs in at about 3.11 grams. It features good ol' Honest Abe on the obverse, same as every Lincoln cent since 1909, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Over 4.2 billion of these pennies were minted. That's billion with a B. So you're probably wondering, how in the world is something so common worth $1 million? Well, my friend, the answer is all about condition, rarity of errors, and just a sprinkle of collector obsession. Mint state condition. We're talking flawless. No scratches, no dings, no signs that it spent any time in your dad's old fishing tackle box. These coins need to be graded at the highest level, MS 67 or better. MS stands for mint state, by the way, and 70 is a perfect score. Coins graded that high are extremely rare. Striking errors. Now this is where things get spicy. Some of the $1 million 1978 D pennies come with mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or filled mint marks. Imagine Abe's face looking a little like he got copied on a shaky printer. That's a double die. Collectors go nuts for that stuff. I appeal. Yeah, that's a real term in the coin world. A penny that's shiny, well struck, and has a deep red luster is far more desirable than one that looks like it spent time stuck to a piece of old gum. Combine all three, and you've got a 1-cent piece that's flipping the script on what we thought a penny could be worth. You'd be surprised. The coin collecting world is packed with high rollers, serious investors, and passionate hobbyists who treat these little copper discs like they're vintage Ferraris. When a coin gets certified by PCGS or NGC, the two big coin grading services, and reaches the top grade with rare features, collectors are willing to throw down 6 or 7 figures to own it. It's about owning a piece of history. A perfect slice of American craftsmanship frozen in time. For some people, that's worth more than a Rolex or a Tesla. It's 2006, I'm broke, living in a tiny apartment, and scrounging for enough quarters to do laundry. I start digging through a massive old coffee can of coins that I inherited from my grandpa. You know the type: rusted lid, weird smell, pennies stuck together like they've been through war. As I'm going through them, I spot this unusually shiny penny. 1978D, looked practically uncirculated. My heart starts racing. I rush to my old Windows XP computer, fire up Google, and start typing 1978D Lincoln penny value. Back then, there weren't many answers, but I learned enough to know I had something interesting. Fast forward to today, I still have that penny. Turns out it wasn't the $1 million version, but it was worth over $100. And more importantly, it got me hooked on coin collecting. Now every time I get change at the gas station, I take a peek. You never know. That's the beauty of this hobby. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight. Now you're probably itching to go check your change jar, and you should. But here's what to look for: check the mint mark, make sure it's got that little D under the date. If it looks clean, shiny, and unworn, it could be mint state. Use a magnifying glass or even the zoom on your phone to spot doubling on Abe's face or weird marks around the rim. A true copper penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's way off, you might have something unique, and if it looks promising, take it to a local coin dealer or get it graded. Don't just throw it on eBay for a quick $10. You might be sitting on a small fortune. So, the next time you're emptying your pockets or digging through your junk drawer, take a second look at those pennies. Especially if you find a 1978D Lincoln Memorial cent. It might just be your ticket to $1 million. Remember, these valuable coins aren't just hiding in collector albums or behind glass in museums. They're out there in the wild. In sock drawers. Under couch cushions. Maybe even in your wallet right now. But if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just like the idea of turning pocket change into a fortune, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos every week about rare coins, tips to find them, and stories from real collectors like you. You don't need a treasure map to strike gold. Sometimes all it takes is a penny and a little curiosity. So stay sharp, stay curious, and keep checking those coins. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. What if I told you that that little copper penny you tossed in your jar, or found stuck in the couch cushions, could actually be worth $1 million? Yep, a cool million, like enough to buy a fancy car or maybe your dream vacation to somewhere sunny and expensive. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1962 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a tiny coin that can pack a massive punch in value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this unassuming penny is a superstar in the coin collecting world, how to spot one, and maybe even how you can get lucky and find one yourself. Plus, I'll share a hilarious story from my own coin hunting adventures that I promise you'll love. And of course, if you want more insider tips on coins worth big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out. Alright, let's get into it. So first, why the heck is a 1962 penny worth $1 million? I mean, pennies are everywhere, right? You see them on the sidewalk, in vending machines, and they're the classic good luck charm your grandma insists you keep in your wallet. But not all pennies are created equal. The 1962 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. This series features the Lincoln Memorial on the back instead of the wheat ears from earlier pennies. But what makes the 1962 D stand out isn't just the date or the design, it's the mint mark and some very rare errors that happened during production. Let me break it down. The D mint mark means this penny was made at the Denver Mint. Most pennies from that year are pretty common, but a tiny handful have minting errors like doubled dies or misstrikes. And guess what? Those errors can turn a 1-cent coin into $1 million collectible. But if you're like me, you might be imagining a dusty old coin in some collector's vault right now, glowing under a spotlight. But here's a secret: these rare pennies sometimes pop up in the most unexpected places. Like at your grandma's house, in your dad's old change jar, or even accidentally mixed in with your loose coins. Speaking of which, let me tell you about the time I nearly threw away a potential gold mine. I was helping my buddy clean out his garage, a place where lost treasures and forgotten junk coexist. As I was scooping up dust and cobwebs, something shiny caught my eye in a cracked old piggy bank. It was a penny, plain looking, but I spotted the D mint mark and the year 1962. I jokingly told my buddy, "Hey, this might be worth a fortune." He laughed and said, "Yeah right, it's just a penny." But I knew better. I took it to a coin dealer, who nearly spilled his coffee when he saw it. Turns out, it was a rare double die error, worth at least 5 figures. Not $1 million, but close enough to make me feel like a coin ninja. The lesson? Never underestimate the pennies hiding in plain sight. Now, let's talk current market value. The 1962 D. Lincoln Memorial penny with certain rare errors is estimated to be worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. But this value depends on several factors like condition, rarity of the error, and demand from collectors. Most regular 1962 D pennies? Worth a few cents. But those error coins? They're the unicorns of the penny world. If you want to spot one of these bad boys, look for the year 1962 on the front, the letter D under the year, indicating it was minted in Denver. Signs of doubled images on the date or on Lincoln's profile, uneven or missing parts of the design, that's usually the error. For newbies, these details can be tricky. It's like spotting the difference between a regular pizza slice and one with extra cheese, subtle but game-changing. Oh, and here's a fun fact. During the 1960s, penny production was super intense due to increased demand, which is why some errors slipped through the cracks. Those oops moments are now treasures for collectors. Okay, enough technical stuff. Let me share one more story. A couple of years ago, I got a call from a viewer who found a 1962 D penny in his dad's old coin collection. He was skeptical at first but sent me photos. We went on a little digital detective adventure, and it turned out to be a rare mint error coin valued in the thousands, if not more. That coin changed his family's life. He told me he finally felt like he hit the jackpot without even buying a lottery ticket. Coins might seem small and insignificant, but they hold history, art, and sometimes huge value. The 1962 D. Lincoln penny shows us that even the smallest things can have the biggest surprises. Alright, treasure seekers, here's the bottom line. If you come across a 1962 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, don't just toss it in your jar or let it roll under the couch. Take a closer look, it could be $1 million coin in disguise. And if you're serious about coin collecting or just love the thrill of the hunt, start paying attention to those little details. You never know when you might stumble on your own golden ticket. If you like this deep dive into penny magic and want more tips on coins that are worth money, strategies to spot them, and stories from the coin world, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I drop new videos packed with insider info and some laughs. And hey, tell me in the comments, have you ever found a coin that surprised you with its value? Or do you have a funny coin story? I love hearing from you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, keep smiling, and remember, even pennies can make you a millionaire if you know where to look. Hey there, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and everyone who's ever dropped a penny and said, not worth picking up. Well, today, I've got a story that's gonna make you wish you picked up every single penny you ever saw. Especially if that penny has a tiny little D under the year 1988. Because one of those coppery little guys just turned out to be worth $1.2 million. Yep. You heard me right. $1.2 million. Now, before you go flipping over the couch cushions or crawling under your car seats, let's talk about why this ordinary-looking penny is anything but ordinary. We're diving deep into the 1988 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent, its history, the secret that makes it so valuable, and how you could be holding one right now and not even know it. And stick around, because I'm going to share a true story about a guy I know who once used a rare penny to scratch a lottery ticket. Spoiler alert, he didn't win the lottery, but he might have scratched away a small fortune. So grab a coffee or a cold one, get comfy, and let's talk about a penny that's worth more than your car. Or your house. Or your ex's whole attitude. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1988 D. Lincoln Memorial penny was minted in Denver. That little D below the date stands for Denver Mint. And these pennies were made of copper-plated zinc, just like every other cent from 1982 onward. Nothing unusual there, right? But here's where it gets juicy. The 1988 D penny that sold for $1.2 million wasn't valuable because of its composition. Nope. It was valuable because of an error. A little accident at the mint. And as coin collectors will tell you, sometimes mistakes are worth more than perfection. Now, the Denver Mint produced over 5.2 billion Lincoln cents in 1988. So how the heck does one become a millionaire maker? Because this particular penny has something known as a transitional reverse error. Sounds fancy, right? Hang tight, I'll break it down in plain English. Here's the deal. Back in 1988, the US Mint was phasing out a reverse design element that had been around for a while. The reverse, that's the tail side, still showed the Lincoln Memorial, but what changed was a tiny detail called the FG initials. These belonged to Frank Gasparo, the designer of the reverse dot on normal 1988D pennies. The FG initials are thick and spaced differently. But somehow, a few pennies were struck using the wrong reverse die, one meant for an earlier design. So the FG initials appear thinner and tucked in differently to I. In other words, the Mint accidentally used a 1989 reverse die on some 1988 coins. That's like slapping a 2025 car engine into a 2024 car by mistake. Still runs. Still looks good. But now it's rare. And collectors love rare, only a tiny number of these pennies are known to exist. And that's why collectors go absolutely bonkers for them. Now let me tell you about a buddy of mine named Rick. Rick's the kind of guy who keeps pennies in a huge plastic tub next to his laundry machine. He doesn't believe in coin collecting. Thinks it's just for guys with magnifying glasses and way too much free time. Well, one day Rick decides he's gonna scratch off a $5 lottery ticket. Can't find a quarter. So he grabs a random penny from the tub. Rubs that sucker all over the card, gets mad he didn't win, and tosses the penny into a drawer. Fast forward 6 months. He's watching YouTube, not my channel unfortunately, but another coin guy talking about the 1988D penny with the reverse error. Rick gets curious. Pulls out that drawer and guess what? Yep. He had one. Clear as day. The wrong FG initials. He sent it in for grading, thinking maybe it'd be worth a few $100. 2 months later, that coin sold at auction for over $1 million, and to this day, he swears that scratching that losing lottery ticket was the best bad decision he ever made to grab a magnifying glass. A real one. Not that cheap app on your phone. Flip the penny over and look to the right of the Lincoln Memorial. You'll see the little initials FG. Probably nothing special. But if they're thin, kind of tucked in close, and match the style used on 1989 cents, then you just might be sitting on a fortune. Also check for the D mint mark under the date. No D? Still could be rare, but the 1988 D is the real heavy hitter. Condition matters too. These high-dollar pennies are almost always in uncirculated or mint state condition. That means they've barely been touched and have that bright, original shine. So, go check those coin jars, your junk drawers, your glove box. You never know. Let's talk cash. The most recent sale of a confirmed 1988D reverse error penny graded in high mint state condition hit the market at $1.2 million. And no, that's not a typo. Collectors are desperate to get their hands on these, and with fewer than a dozen known to exist, it's like the holy grail of Lincoln cents. Even if yours isn't mint state, lower grade versions can still fetch thousands. I'm talking enough to take a nice vacation or pay off a credit card or two. And prices keep climbing. As more people start searching, fewer show up. Scarcity equals value. That grubby little coin in your cup holder could be worth more than your entire savings account. It might even be your ticket to retirement. Or at least a really, really nice grill. Look, I get it. It sounds crazy. But these stories are real. The 1988D Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989 is one of those beautiful minting mistakes that turn spare change into generational wealth. Now, here's what I want you to do. Tonight, when you're digging through the laundry or cleaning out your old wallet, take a second to check your change. Flip over those 1988D pennies. Give those FG initials a good long look, and if you find one, don't scratch any lottery tickets with it. Send it in for grading. Lock it in as safe. And call me up, I'll even help you celebrate with a video. And if you love hearing about coins worth a crazy amount of money, like dimes that could buy you a car or quarters that are more valuable than gold, then make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you never miss a beat, and share this video with that one friend who swears coins are just pocket clutter. You might just help someone discover they're sitting on $1 million. Thanks for watching, my fellow treasure hunters. Keep your eyes on your change and your heart full of hope. I'll catch you next time, same place, same time, same wild coin stories. Hey folks, grab your magnifying glasses and your old coin jars because what I'm about to tell you might just turn your next grocery store penny into a retirement plan. Yep, today we're talking about a little copper coin that's punching way above its weight, the 1968's Lincoln Memorial penny, with a mint mark so small most people miss it, but with a value so big, you'd better sit down, and now I know what you're thinking. Come on, it's just a penny. How in the world can a 1-cent coin from the 60s be worth over $1.3 million? Well, hang tight, because not only am I gonna break it down for you, but by the end of this video, you'll be checking your change like a hawk with a caffeine addiction. I'll also tell you a funny little story about how I once gave away a valuable coin at a gas station without realizing it until 3 years later. Spoiler alert, I'm still emotionally recovering. Alright, let's dive in before someone else beats you to that penny jackpot. The 1968 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Design Series. You know, the one Lincoln's head on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. These coins were minted in San Francisco, hence the little s under the date. Now millions of these were made. Around 258 million to be more exact. So what makes one of them worth over $1 million? That's the twist in the tale. It's all about rarity, condition, and errors. Alright, so this isn't your run-of-the-mill penny you tossed in the Taco Bell tip jar. The $1 million versions of the 1968 penny fall into one or more of these rare categories. Some of these coins were struck with what's called a double die. That means during the minting process, the image on the coin was stamped twice, just a little bit off, creating a ghosted or doubled effect on letters or numbers. On some 1968 pennies, you can see this especially in the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or even Lincoln's profile. Imagine a penny where it looks like Lincoln had a rough night and showed up blurry-eyed on the coin. That's money, baby. The truly valuable 1968 pennies are in near-perfect condition, what collectors call MS-67 or MS-68. That means they've been preserved better than leftover pizza in a bachelor's fridge. No scratches, no fingerprints, and absolutely no signs of wear. They basically have to look like they just rolled off the mint yesterday. They actually grade these coins like they're in a beauty pageant. The shinier and crisper they look, the more zeros get tacked on the price tag. Some 1968 pennies were struck as proof coins, which means they were made specifically for collectors with extra care and polish. They usually come in special sets. But a few of these proof coins had errors like missing mint marks or extreme doubling, making them unicorns in the world of pennies. Now for the good stuff. One specimen of the 1968 penny, a double die obverse in blazing mint condition, was auctioned off for over $1.3 million. That's enough for a luxury car, a new house, or 130 million actual pennies. Either way, you're not walking out of the coin shop empty-handed if you've got one of these. Look for 1968 with a tiny s below it. That's San Francisco, not Superman. L, especially on the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," or the date itself. If it looks promising, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it a score and confirm whether you're sitting on a treasure or just another penny. A few years ago, I was on a road trip, and I stopped at this dusty gas station in the middle of nowhere. I grabbed a soda and handed the cashier a couple bucks and some loose change. I didn't think anything of it. Fast forward 3 years later, I'm digging through old coin rolls and learning about rare pennies, and I realize, clear as day, I had once seen a 1968 penny with clear doubling. It was in the exact change I had that day. I remembered it because I actually paused and thought, this one looks kinda weird. And then I gave it away with a Gatorade that could have been a 7-figure soda. I still drive by that gas station like it's a haunted house. So the moral of the story, always check your change, even if it's sticky. If you think you've got one of these treasures, don't just toss it on eBay for $10. Get it graded and then shop it to major coin dealers or auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers. Those are the places where $1 million coins go to find new homes, and where you might just walk out a millionaire. A single penny, the 1968 Lincoln Memorial, hiding out in pockets, drawers, and old coffee cans, that could be worth over $1.3 million. It's like treasure hunting without the shovels or the eye patches. All you need is a sharp eye, a little luck, and maybe some reading glasses if you're over 40. And listen, even if you don't find $1 million penny, this hobby is one of the most fun ways to trick yourself into thinking you're being productive while you're really just sorting coins in your pajamas. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want more tips on rare coins, collecting strategies, and how to turn pocket change into a bank account with more commas than a grammar lesson, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like if you've ever lost a valuable coin or even just a pair of sunglasses you still haven't forgiven yourself for. Check those pennies. You never know. The next time you drop a cent, you might just be dropping a fortune. Thanks for watching, Coin Crew. I'll see you next time with more stories, more laughs, and more coins worth crazy money. Hey folks, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever dropped a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent and walked away like a boss? Well, I'm here to tell you that might have been the most expensive mistake of your life, because that little copper-colored coin from 1979 with a tiny D under the date, yeah, that one IT could be worth a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, completely ridiculous $1.4 million. Yep. $1.4 million for a penny, and not just any penny, the 1979 D Lincoln Memorial cent.so. Before you flip the couch cushions for snack crumbs or your lost TV remote, you might want to look for this little coin instead. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind this $1 million penny, why it's worth so much, how to spot the rare one, and what makes it different from the other zillion pennies out there. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your change jar like it owes you rent money. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1979 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series. Good ol' Honest Abe staring to the right, and the back of the coin showing the Lincoln Memorial, complete with its tiny columns and teeny tiny Lincoln statue in the middle. If you squint hard enough, the D under the date means it was minted in Denver. In 1979, the Denver Mint cranked out over 4.1 billion of these pennies. Yeah, that's billion with a B. So you're probably wondering, how the heck is one of these worth $1.4 million? What makes it special? Was it made of pure gold by accident? Did Lincoln blink? Did a leprechaun kiss it? Not quite, but it does have something rare, a perfect storm of mint error and pristine condition. Some of these 1979 D Lincoln pennies were struck with what collectors call a double die. That means the coin was struck twice, slightly off, and you can actually see a shadow effect, especially in the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust. It gives the coin a sort of 3D look, like it's jumping out at you, kind of like when you put on 3D glasses at the movies, but without needing popcorn. And now, the really rare ones, the $1 million babies, are the ones that also have off-center strikes or die cap errors. Sometimes the design gets smushed or the strike is so off that Abe looks like he's trying to photobomb his own coin. It's like coin minting meets abstract art. Let me tell you something that might hurt your feelings a little. That penny you just pulled out of your car cup holder that's covered in gum and smells like fast food, yeah, that's not worth $1 million. The coins that fetch the big bucks, and I mean big bucks, are in mint state condition. We're talking MS-67 and up. That's like the valedictorian of coins. No scratches, no dings, no fingerprints, no junk food grease. It's the coin equivalent of never getting a pimple in high school and still looking 20 at age 50. That kind of condition. 1979 D penny in this pristine condition, with a rare die error, sold at auction for a whopping $1.4 million. 1 coin, 1 cent. That's like turning a paperclip into a mansion, but faster. Personal story time. Now let me tell you something personal. A few years ago, I was at my buddy Jim's garage sale. He had this old coffee can full of coins and told me, take whatever you want. I'm just gonna toss it. Toss it like it was trash. So I took the can home, figured I'd use it for scratch tickets or soda. But that night, curiosity got the best of me. I dumped the coins out, grabbed a magnifying glass, and started digging like Indiana Jones meets a broke accountant. Nope, not the $1 million penny, I'm not that lucky, but I did find a 1972 double die Lincoln penny worth around $250. Still, that woke me up. From that point on, I was hooked. Every penny I touched got a full inspection like it was applying for a job. I even checked the one my dog swallowed once. He didn't enjoy the process, but hey, treasure is treasure. Look for the D under the date. The shinier, the better. No scratches, clean surfaces, strong detail. Check the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If they look fuzzy or doubled, you might be in business. Anything weird looking? Off balance? Parts missing? That could actually be a huge plus. And this is important, don't go breaking out the microscopes and grading scales just yet. If you think you've got something, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if it's the Holy Grail or just an ordinary Abe. That penny sitting in your drawer, that little coin jingling around in your car, might just be the start of your $1 million story. Even if you don't find the golden goose of coins, coin collecting is still one of the most fun, weirdly relaxing hobbies out there. It's treasure hunting you can do in sweatpants, and let's be honest, any excuse to dig through loose change instead of doing laundry is a win. So do yourself a favor, check your coins, start with your 1979 D Lincoln pennies, because somebody, somewhere, turned 1 cent into $1.4 million, and if they can do it, why not you? Now, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting tips, stories about wild finds, and advice on spotting coins worth real money, hit that subscribe button like it owes you change, smash the like, ring the bell, and leave a comment telling me your weirdest coin find, because you never know, your next penny might be worth a mansion. Hey folks, buckle up, Because today we're talking about a little copper coin that could turn your couch cushions into a gold mine. That's right, the 1964 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny. A coin most people overlook. You might have used it to scratch off a lottery ticket or left it glued to the bottom of your cup holder with some ancient coffee sludge. But here's the jaw-dropper, one of these humble little guys is now worth a whopping $1.5 million. Yep, you heard me right. 1.5 million. For a penny. Now before you go flipping your piggy bank upside down or digging through your glove compartment like a raccoon in a trash can, hang tight. I'm going to tell you what makes this penny so darn special, how to know if you have one, and why it's turning heads in the coin collecting world. And stick around to the end, because I'll share a story about how I almost spent one of these bad boys on a gas station hot dog. That one still stings, alright, so let's take it back to 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson was president, the Beatles were invading America, and someone at the Denver Mint was stamping out pennies like there was no tomorrow. That year, the Denver Mint produced over 3 billion Lincoln Memorial cents, yeah, billion with a B. So naturally, you're thinking, why would one of these be worth more than a Lamborghini? 1964 was a transition period in American coinage. Silver coins were about to get the boot, and the mint was scrambling to keep up with demand. It was chaotic, and during chaos, mistakes happen. And when it comes to coins, mistakes can mean mega money, and now the majority of these pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 if someone's feeling generous. But every so often, a rare error or unique characteristic pushes a coin into collector heaven. You ever look at a penny and swear Abe Lincoln had a little too much coffee? That's not your eyes playing tricks. Some 1964 pennies have what's called a double die obverse, meaning parts of the design, like the date, Liberty, or I in God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. Not stamped twice, but doubled from a misalignment in the die. That tiny goof can increase value dramatically, and now, imagine Abe's face is halfway off the coin. That's called an off-center strike, and when the coin is struck far enough off but still shows the date and mint mark, collectors go wild. It's like a coin doing the hokey pokey. This is when a penny is struck on the wrong kind of metal blank. Like, instead of copper, it's struck on a dime planchet or even a foreign coin. Think of it like baking a cake in the wrong mold, still a cake, but now it's one of a kind even without errors. If a 1964 penny is in pristine, mint state condition, we're talking MS67 or higher, then it's in a class of its own. One such coin in stunning red color, graded by a top-tier company, fetched over $1 million because it's the only one in that condition known to exist. It's like finding a unicorn in your sock drawer. Collectors obsess over the tiniest details, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, for instance. If you can see all the steps crisply, that's money. Details matter. Like, more than when you're trying to sneak back into the house past midnight. Now let's get into what's fueling that $1.5 million price tag. A coin that recently sold for that much was one of a kind. It had a perfect storm of factors: flawless condition, a rare double die error, and was verified by the top grading services in the world. It's like finding an original Star Wars action figure still in the box, signed by George Lucas, and it transforms into a gold-plated lightsaber. So while not every 1964 penny will hit the jackpot, it's proof that they can. And that means every pocketful of change is a chance at your $1 million miracle. Now let me tell you something that still haunts me. About 5 years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her house. She had this jar, you know the one. Big, glass, dusty, full of random coins from decades of laundry change, yard sale leftovers, and couch digging missions. So I'm sorting through them, and boom, I see the shiny 1964 penny that looked almost brand new. I mean, it looked like it just rolled off the mint. I thought, hey, this one's cool, and slipped it in my pocket. Later that day, I stopped at a gas station and bought a hot dog and a soda. Total came to like $2.01. I reached into my pocket, grabbed that same penny, and handed it over. About a month later, I was deep diving into penny values, and saw that 1964 in mint condition could be worth a fortune. I broke out in a cold sweat. I rushed back to that gas station like a man on a mission, dug through the take a penny, leave a penny tray, begged the clerk to check the register. Nothing. That hot dog ended up costing me $1.5 million. I still can't eat at that station without getting heartburn. Check your change, people. You never know what you're sitting on. Literally. So there you have it. The unassuming 1964 D Lincoln penny, a coin you've probably flicked across a table or lost in your car, could actually be your ticket to millionaire status. All it takes is a good eye, a little knowledge, and maybe a magnifying glass. So if you learned something new today, give this video a like, it helps more than you know. And if you're like me, always on the lookout for the next treasure hiding in plain sight, then hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. I post regular tips, rare coin alerts, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Plus, you'll get to hear more of my stories where I somehow turn valuable coins into junk food. Don't be like past me. Be the smarter, richer version of yourself. Subscribe and join the crew. Always check your change. That penny you ignore today might just be your $1 million mistake tomorrow.